Hello and welcome back to Istaria. This is part number 3. So in the last part, we did a little bit of crafting and we did a little bit of quests, and we even killed red tusks. Red tusks, and we actually got a title from that. So let's see here. Show details. You braved the brutal, goring monster that is red tusks. And this gives us the title The Brave, so we'll go ahead and use 5-second cast for some reason. There we go. And there it is, Tizbirn the Brave. We are the Brave. So just real quick, we'll put our Conqueror stance back on. That's good. And I just want to take a quick look. Okay, we used all our training points. We don't have any abilities that we haven't put on our action bar. We've been good about that. That's good. And everything else is good. Cool. So, while we're here, since we're already out here, it looks like Eleanor has another quest for us. So, let's go ahead, give her a hello.
Hello.
And she tells us, I am sure you've heard, she already told us about that. Okay, Eleanor tells us, 2 days ago, I was on my way to the beach south of here, and I passed, that was a day after her wedding, if I recall correctly, and I passed not far behind the old windmill when I heard some groans in its direction. However, I didn't find anybody there. I just noticed it was strangely cold in the windmill. Could you check this place for me? Maybe I missed something. And sure, and we actually passed by the windmill just a little bit. We just so happened to be nearby when we were killing red tusks. So I know it's just right down here, past these spiders and stuff. So let's go check out the windmill then. And she said it was cold. Now, I don't know if dragons are cold-blooded in this universe. Actually, with the fire, you would think not with the fire breath and all, but maybe that has nothing to do with it. I have no idea. In any case, it's cold apparently, so we're gonna go check it out. And now these sapling cedar treants aren't going to bother us. They have white names, so it means they're not aggressive. And here's the windmill. And there's a ghost in the windmill. It doesn't seem hostile. Maybe I should speak to it. Revion tells us, who are you? Can you really see me? Erliniel, my poor, sweet Erliniel. Revion is a ghost who is stuck in a windmill. He has lost his locket and wants your help in getting it back. Erliniel, my beloved. Oh, my love, I'm so sorry. Erliniel, is that you? Have you returned to me? And I respond, I am not your Erliniel. And he tells us, no, I can see that you are not my Erliniel. Who are you? Tizbirn, you say? You look to be one of the gifted. You can see what my fate has become, can you not? I was not so gifted as you, young one. And young. And he tells us, I called you young, for I too was young and spirited like yourself. Now, alas, I am just a spirit. Ay me, I jest even in death. I came here to this mill to see what seems like many lifetimes ago, though as a spirit I have little recollection of time. I was coming here for, well, I do not know what, now that you mention it, but I know that fate was a cruel mistress the day I died. Were you looking for something? And he tells us, yes, no, well, I came out here seeking something or someone, but I was attacked. Viciously attacked by something out there. More than one, I recall, and in the process I lost everything. The only thing that matters to me is the locket I was going to give to my precious Erliniel. Erliniel, where is the locket and where did you go? You lost a locket? Yes, a locket. I was coming here to the mill with the locket to meet my Erliniel. I remember. It's not here though. Where did it go? Lost when I died, perhaps? Perhaps you would be willing to find it for me. You are one of the gifted after all, so whatever it is can't really hurt you. Okay. Now from our quest log here, Revion needs your help finding a locket he dropped while running from whatever it is that killed him. It could be on his body where he was killed, or perhaps he dropped it among the spiders that roam near the windmill. Check the body or kill spiders in search. So I believe he's referring to these spiders. Now, we actually got some bonus XP, and I'm not entirely sure why. There could be an event. Okay, this is a spider nest. Maybe we can gather. You have found an old heart-shaped locket almost buried within the spider's nest. You should take it back to Revion and see if it is the one he is looking for. Okay. We also gathered some cobwebs that I don't think... Yeah, a cobweb from a spider nest, it would be soft if it wasn't that sticky. You don't think you can have any use for it. So we'll go ahead and just get rid of that. But we did find the locket. Oh, it's still doing that thing. I really need to fix that. Okay, hold on. Okay, and we're back. Alright, and we have his locket, and I turned spell effects back on as well. That way at least we can see our fire breath. Revion tells you, let me see it. Let me see what you found. Yes, that is the locket I had planned to give her. Okay, we'll go on to part 2 here. Revion, yeah, he'll tell us about all this. And Revion tells us, I remember now, I remember it all. Would you take this to her? She should be in the town. Oh, Ariel. And we have agreed to look for Revion's love, Erliniel, but you do not recall hearing any such name before. Perhaps you should speak to Rezelak the Great, the oldest citizen of New Trismus, and see if he knows anything of her. Okay, we'll pop our recall. Head back into town, and we actually could, if we really wanted to, we could turn this loading screen off, but it wouldn't really make anything any faster because we would still have to wait for everything to actually load in before we could really do anything. Now, if you have a better computer, you can turn off the loading screens and, you know, it'll work fine, and you can have pretty much instant teleports. You might just have to wait a little bit while things load in, but for us, for now, for the purpose of making it not look like utter dog shit, we're just gonna let it load before we, you know, pop in ourselves and actually start moving around. But real quick, so I did notice also, if you recall in the last part, my, I had some issues, I came over, so I had to gather this water from this well, and as I was re-recording the audio, I was looking, oh my god, these textures are so bad, so what we're gonna do, there, that's a little more tolerable. Hopefully that doesn't have too much of an impact on our performance here. And we'll head back in. So I think what's happening is when we come into a town for the first time after we close the game out and come back, that it makes it a little bit more laggy, and it causes our frame rate to drop. But I think if we just hung out and waited for like 30 seconds, it would more or less fix it. So we seem like we're back to pretty smooth here. So this is Rezelak the Great. So he's the old one here. And he tells us, what is that you are waving around there? A locket for Erliniel, you say. You do not know the story then, I see. Erliniel is a very old name. So what happened to her? Rezelak tells us, Erliniel lived in New Trismus once, it is true. She was an elf who had settled here with her intended, Revion. Revion and she were often out wandering the island. I hear they especially like sharing a lunch out near the old windmill and gazing out to sea. I suppose when you cannot fly, it is a good vantage spot to gaze upon the water. And did they die out there? And he tells us Revion did, for sure. I overheard him speaking that day of a special present for Erliniel just before he left to meet her, I presume at the windmill. He never returned, and she was worried sick about him. We sent out search parties, but nothing was ever found of him. Erliniel vanished not long after, never to be seen again. That's interesting, because Revion's ghost spoke to me at the windmill. If that is so, and his ghost now haunts the windmill, you should return to him and seek to set him to rest once and for all. No spirit deserves such a fate. Okay. There's an adult dragon, at the very least, who just teleported in and flew off, and there's no way we could possibly keep up with him or anything, so we're just gonna let that other player, move on with what he's doing. And we'll hit our auto run, and it's a little bit of a hike back to the windmill. It's not too bad. Sprint does help a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, and I think it's pretty much anywhere that we haven't been before. It's going to be a little bit laggy. At least the first time through. Not even somewhere we've never been before, but just somewhere that we haven't been in this specific play session. Which is a dead giveaway that I'm recording this, not at the same day that, that reminds me, but not the same day that I recorded the last part. But that does mean that we can go, at some point, get another pet, and we'll get ourselves a combat pet this time. That is a daily quest, but it's been a long time, so it should be fine. Revion tells us, she's gone, you say. I remember now what happened. I was on my way here to the windmill to meet Erliniel, and I was ambushed by an assassin. I tried to flee, but he caught up with me and stabbed me with a dagger. I guess I died. Oh, my poor Erliniel. And we have another part here. Erliniel is gone. In a way, I say lucky her. It seems I cannot find rest myself. What can I do to seek my final rest and be with my beloved again? Reslisk says you have unfinished business. Unfinished business, you say? What unfinished business could I have? Oh, yes, you are right. Perhaps my soul cannot rest until the one who killed me is also at rest. It has been so many years, though. It was the blacksmith, Korath Vatum. I believe that is who I was being chased by and ultimately killed me. Why would he have done that? Would you seek him out for me? Perhaps then I may be at peace. Alrighty. So, seek out and confront Korath Vatum, a blacksmith in New Tristmas. So he's back in the city, so we'll recall again. And this should go much quicker than last time. Or at the very least, we shouldn't have as much issue with our frame. Yeah, it did go much faster. Oh, we leveled up. We hit level 9. Alrighty. Real quick. Oh, here's another hatchling. A little bit higher level than us. Looks good, though. A lot of purple. But real quick, let's spend our training points. And then we got a new ability in here called Drolkar's Focus. A mighty roar magically summons a dragon's inner power, increasing spell damage dealt and their ability to hit with primal attacks. Okay, so this gives us 30 power and 17 attack skill for spells, and it also spells do 102% normal damage. And it lasts 2 hours, so it's a good one. Unfortunately, we don't really use power or spells for that matter, but we'll turn it on for now. And when we get something else in the future, that will be fine. But real quick, before we continue on, I'm going to see why we're getting an XP multiplier. Okay, well, I did a little looking around, and I couldn't find anything about a double XP event. There must be one going on, so we're actually going to level faster in this than we otherwise would. Which isn't, it's not a big deal either way. It's not my favorite thing in the world, just because I'm not really trying to grind this right now, but, and so we're going to outlevel some of the stuff that's happening here, but that's okay. But nonetheless, here's Korath Vatum. He tells us, "What can I do for you, dragon?" And I reply, "Revion claims that you tracked and killed him years ago, that you are an assassin." And he tells us, "Preposterous, Tizbirn. I am a blacksmith, as all can see. Nothing more or less. Now please leave me be so I can get back to work." So, we don't really trust him, obviously. So we're going to find Pratt here and see what he has to say. And he tells us, "Korath, he's a strange one. Showed up a number of years ago, mostly keeps to himself. I rarely see him socialize and almost never drink, though he does visit the tavern frequently. Mostly just sits and watches others. As I said, he's strange." And I ask, what did he do before he came here? Revion says he was an assassin. An assassin? He's a half-giant. Hard to hide and sneak around when you're that tall, wouldn't you say? My guess, he was a warrior and fought in the war. There's an air about him, something off, but I see that with many veterans who have seen or done awful things. An assassin, though? I might sooner believe that Resliak frolicked in a field of flowers and butterflies. Okay. So Pratt doesn't believe the assassin story. Korath appears to be gone and in a hurry, perhaps to the tavern. Pratt did say he visited it frequently. Okay. Give a look to the tavern. Which I know is just up this hill a little ways. And here's the tavern keeper. But Korath isn't here either. We should return to Revion at the mill and let him know what we have learned of Korath. Okay. We'll pop our sprint once again. You know, we do have a lot of traveling, a lot of running around. Get used to seeing this dragon butt. I'll tell you that much. If you're watching this and you're in it for the long haul, boy, are you in for some dragon butt. Not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. No Lara Croft, but, you know, I think I made a decent-looking dragon here. My favorite colors, for sure. Maybe not the best colors for a dragon, but my favorite colors, so... I approach the mill and see Korath standing on the path. He looks angry and more violent than he did when I spoke to him in town. Korath tells us, "I just wanted to retire. I was an assassin once, but no more. Revion was my last job. Something set me up for the rest of my life, but you had to meddle." Okay, he is hostile to us now, so we're gonna fuck him up. And again, we're gonna avoid using our horde abilities. We don't really need them right now. He's not really putting up much of a fight here either way, so... There we go. We'll loot his stuff. He even dropped us a small coin purse, so we'll use that and get our coin from it. And he also dropped this broken figurine. A figurine of what appears to be Istaria or perhaps Marisat. You aren't sure. The top third of the statue has been broken and lost. Once, long ago, it may have been encrusted with gemstones, but they're long gone. However, there remains enough of the figurine to be of some value to the oddities brokers. Fair enough. We'll sell it. Okay. Revion, here's Revion again. Revion tells me, "I suppose it is obvious. You are here and so am I, and with Korath gone, there is nothing more which I can think of that is keeping me here. Please, Tizbirn, take the locket for your efforts. I do not know if it is valuable, but you have more than earned whatever you can get from it." Okay, here's part 4. Tizbirn, I have been searching my memories. They are fragmented and confused, but I remembered something. Maybe my old friend and mentor, Ator, would know what happened to Erlinial. Where would I find this Ator? Oh, I don't remember. I'm sorry, Tizbirn. Maybe someone in town could help? Okay. We'll head back into town. And, was it Resilak the Great? I started to say the name when the loading screen came up, and I missed my opportunity to be confident and pretending like I knew automatically who it was. But, yeah, speak to Resilak the Great about where Ator may be found. Armor and scale tech kit, old heart-shaped locket. This locket represents Revion's love for Erlinial, a love so strong it persisted beyond death. This tech kit can be applied to a helm or a dragon head scale, and it adds 100 health and 3 to 5 to feels. Okay, well, we can't use that for a long time because we can't equip, let alone make a head scale, but that's okay. We'll hang on to it. We'll throw it in our vault next time we head in there. Resilak tells us, Ator. Oh yes, I know that name. A terrible business that. Brakis would know more than I, Tizbirn. You should speak to him. He can be found southwest of town at Bartol's camp. Follow the road to the southwest, cross the bridge, then turn right at the ore refinery. Turn left before the refinery to hit the camp. Okay, so let's head over to our inventory maintenance building. I don't really know what else to call it. But I want to put a couple things in my vault. I want to get rid of my junk. Here we go. Junk. Get rid of all that. And we'll talk to Jeff here. And we'll get rid of our snouts. And that broken item component. We don't need that either. Okay. Approve. There we go. And then we'll add that trophy to our... Oh, it happened. I'm going to have to move it every single time in order to... Yeah. Oh, boy. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know how that's going to go. Okay. So, we'll just put... We'll keep this stuff in our inventory for right now. So, since we're heading up to the ore anyways, what I want to do right now is I want to level up my crafting. Now, we will continue Revion's quest, but I do know that the quest he sent us, or where he's sending us, is a place that we're going to have to go for other quests as well. So, I want to go back and do some more crafting here. Make some more equipment, get more formulas and stuff. But in order to do that, sorry for staring at the ground. In order to do that, we need to level up our crafting here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just fill up our inventory with copper and tin ore, and then smelt all of it into bars. And we'll use all that stuff later. So, copper and tin. Oh, that's not even giving us how much it actually weighs. I wonder if this will. It does. Okay, so as you can see here, it says bulk capacity and item stack capacity. So bulk capacity is what really matters when you're grinding out crafting, right? So, as you can see on the right, an individual bronze bar has a bulk of 6, right? So we can only carry that stuff up until we run out of bulk capacity. Now, this copper and tin ore, I believe, has a weight of 8 in total. And we'll have an easy way to test this once we actually fill up this our pet here. because it's not actually telling us in the description for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe we click customize. Okay, no, that's not it. So we'll just, like I said, we'll wait until, and so what we can do is, we know this has a bulk capacity of 2,000. So we'll wait until it's completely full. Which it was not. Now it is. Okay. So 250 copper and tin is 2,000 bulk. So we'll just take 2,000 divided by 250. Yeah. So each copper and tin is 8 bulk. So we can, that gives us kind of a rough idea of just how much we can actually carry. So we'll move that over to our cargo disc here, and we'll start loading up our cargo disc. So our cargo disc only has 1,500 bulk, and then our inventory only has 1,000. So that's about 4,500 bulk in total. Let's see here. I'll pull my calculator back out. So I use my calculator all the time for this game because I'm a nerd and I like to figure this stuff out. But we know we have 4,500 bulk divided by 8. So we can carry about 562 ores on us at any given time. And we can already make almost 100 of these bars. But as we level up, it's going to take less ore per bar to make. So right now, we need 5 ore for each bar. But as we level up and get more skill, that will go down to, eventually it'll go down to 4, then it'll go down to 3, and then eventually it'll go down to 2. And we'll be able to make a lot more with just what we can gather. And we'll also, since we'll be higher level, we'll have access to better cargo discs and pets and backpacks, scale packs technically, but backpacks and that. Create. That leveled us. And we'll just make the rest of our bars anyways. And I'm going to get rid of this excess here. I got to find a way to permanently fix that, but I'll do it later. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and unequip our cargo disc because we have plenty of room to carry it now. And now we can make this bronze dexterity chest scale with the armor socket in it. Alright, now we can return to carrion, so we'll just recall. Take the fast way back. This is still faster than walking, even though the load times are a little bit long. Alright, here's carrion. Let me see that scale. Rounded edges, nice etchings, clear cuts. Good, it's up to snuff for a first tier crafter. Here, you can keep it. You'll need it in the future. Now let's get you learning about how to make other kinds of techniques. Okay, now let's get you introduced to skill and attribute techniques. You see, scales are all given attributes or defense. Strength scales make you stronger and help your claw swipes cut more cleanly. Power helps your spells do more lasting damage on impact. The defensive ones, armor and health, are more self-explanatory, but all of these things have one thing in common. They cannot be techniqued with the power they already hold. You see, little one, every scale gives a boon to one of your attributes. Techniques can only exist where a boon already does not. There is only so much power that can be bound to a singular scale, so you cannot technique a strength scale with strength or a power scale with power, but you can technique a strength scale with power and a power scale with strength. I hope that makes sense to you. Likewise, a scale can only hold so many techniques. In the first tier, of sandstone, slate, bronze, and iron, a scale can only hold one. As the materials grow stronger, so does their magical affinity, and thus their ability to hold more and more techniques. The strongest of materials that we can craft in technique, the 5th tier of marble and mithril, can hold 3 strong techniques. That is far off, however, and you are only focusing on the 1st tier. Now I want you to try this knowledge out in practice. Go craft me 1 bronze sandstone armor chest scale. I want you to technique it with dragon breath. Take the formula and technique and go. Techniques require you to use something more than a resource pulled from the ground. They require pieces of living beings to donate their magic. For weaker techniques, only 1 piece of 1 creature is used. In this case, it is a carapace of a Loriticus beetle. In the future, you'll need to hunt more pieces of more creatures per technique, but for now, focus on the simple one. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and scribe these 2 things. And the first thing we're going to do, let's get it, there we go, is we're going to, so we need a bronze sandstone armor chest scale. Let's see here. Okay, and then to put dragon breath on it, we have the skill to do it, thankfully. No, we don't have to grind any more levels in order to do that. However, we do need to go get a Loriticus beetle carapace. So, while we're on our way to do that, since we are going to do some fighting here, we're going to head back to, I believe his name was Frelick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Is this the guy? Yeah, it was. And we're going to get a combat pet real quick. So this is, like I said, a daily quest. And it's been quite some time since I actually recorded the last part. So more than enough time. I'm not going to bother with reading through all of this. We already did it in the last part. There we go. So we'll just head back. This the zoo, the petting zoo there is on the way anyways. So we may as well stop by and do that real quick. And the lore guy that just talks whenever we walk by, I'll throw it out there just because. Tad Freyr says, did you know that the treants are guardians of the forest? They are the spirits of trees that become animated in order to protect and replenish the ground. They are found throughout Istaria and, like the trees they protect, can be a source of wood or even rare materials. We will be killing some of them. Not in the short term, I don't think. But it will happen. Now, that guy's quest is also repeatable, but I don't feel like killing Graux, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be that important that we do so. So in here is our the pets that we can get. So this is the fox thing, that's some spiders, the beetles over there, and then we got the pigs, and these are called apple OA sticks, which are weird, but maybe they're a thing from other things. I don't really know, but definitely weird. So I like the Beatles, honestly. Not the band. I mean, the band's fine, but yeah. We'll take that. That'll work. Okay, now we can head up and just kill enough Loriticus beetles to loot one Loriticus. The beetles roam the beaches next to the dim wisps we gathered from earlier. Okay. So I was right about that. Now, we're going to equip our fighting beetle. And we're going to give him a slightly different name because I don't want to keep getting confused. So we'll call him Squirtmar. That won't be confusing at all. We can always change it later if we absolutely need to. But, oops, I didn't need to. And wasn't trying to open his inventory. Oh, right. Okay. I'm just trying to equip. Okay. And then the hope there is that it caused his name to update. Yeah, it did. Okay. So he's not actually going to fight and do any damage or anything, but he does give us health, and we can show the details here. An extra 50 health and 25 armor, so I'd say that's pretty solid. Now, here we go. Luriticus Beetle, and these are not aggressive towards us. They'll only fight back once we engage with them, so we'll just go ahead and get started on these. And again, not using our horde cost abilities right away. I don't really feel the need to. At least not yet. Maybe in the future. Oh, I didn't even... Hopefully our spell effects is back on. I wasn't even paying attention to see if our fire breath actually worked. And now okay, screw it. Yeah, look at all that fire breath. This one did attack us, but it's fine. We'll just fuck them up, too. And we hit level 10. And we gained a few different abilities here. Specifically, we hit level 10 in our adventure school. Okay, we still don't have the carapace that we need. But real quick... we'll spend our training points, and then we'll go through our abilities here that we got. So we just got Coordinated Breath. Now this is a weird ability that I haven't seen in other games, and they may exist. Let me know if they do, if this is a thing in other games. I would love to hear about it. But it's an attack that makes the target more likely to be hit by other coordinated attacks. So... basically what this does is when other people have the same ability and you both use it, it does more damage. But if you just play solo like me, it's not really going to do much for you. So I'm not even going to put it on my action bar, honestly, because it really isn't. It costs 100 horde for first off. And it doesn't really do anything special. Right, unless you're in a group with other people. So I'm just going to leave that out. However, we did also get Ancestral Determination. As Dragon's Determination is fabled, once set on something, their sight gets cleaner and claws sharper, increasing accuracy with tooth and claw attacks and physical damage dealt. So this gives us 10 strength and 18 attack skill with 102% of normal damage. So this is basically just the melee character equivalent of Drolkar's Focus here. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the effect there and then activate Ancestral Determination. That'll work out a lot better for us. And this other ability that we got is our first wing slot for scales. So once we level our crafting enough to make wing scales, we can equip a wing scale. Which is awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. However, we do still have several levels here to get in crafting. We also need to continue doing our crafting quests and everything here. And they're being kind of stingy with their dropping the carapace that we need. These are the right enemies. We don't have any way to confirm that other than just I know they are because of, you know, having done this before. I'm familiar with what's going on here. Yeah, still nothing there. And so I tried looking for it. I couldn't really find it, but I believe that there is a double XP event going on, and that counts for our adventuring, and there we go, we got it. All right, return to Carrion. and crafting. So this is actually going to be leveling us a lot faster than normal. So we're probably going to outpace some of this stuff, but that's okay. We'll live. Okay, so we need to actually craft this scale first, which I didn't realize that until it was too late. So we need some, we already have the bronze bars that we need, thankfully. We had some left over from the last stage. But we do need to grab some sandstone bricks and some dim essence orbs. So we'll head out. We know where all that stuff is. So we'll head out. We'll pop our sprint. Gather up some bricks and some orbs. And then make this scale for our teacher here. And like she told us, eventually we're going to be able to add more than one technique to an item. And you can see each different type of monster thing actually does multiple different things. So these Lyricus beetle carapaces are used for dragon breath, which is useful to us. Enchanting and scribing, which is not useful to us. That's all biped stuff. But it's also used for a spell technique called Covalescence, and I don't know Covalence. I actually don't know what that does offhand. I'm just seeing exactly how many. Okay, we only need 12. So we'll load this up. That's 9, 10. We just need 10 more slabs. And right there, that's 12. Okay. And we'll activate our stoneworking. And our inventory is pretty full right now, but that's okay. We have actually, what we can do is equip our crafting pet. And we'll go ahead and make our bricks and destroy the leftover slabs. And I'm just going to move that slightly to make it easier. And we'll head down here and activate our essence harvesting, and we only need 3 more dim essence orbs. Again, we did have 1 left over. We'll just take advantage of this glitch just a little bit. There we go. And now we can just glide right on down to the essence, and we only need to gather 15 in total. And we could just, there's no fall damage, so we could just drop and land, but I like to make this a little more cinematic. There we go. That's 14. There we go. That's more than enough. And we'll have a couple left over here. We'll get rid of our excess essence. And now we will head back, and now we have all the materials we need to make that scale. So, since we have easy access to a scale forge, we'll use the scale forge. Maybe for role-playing purposes, maybe just because it's more satisfying. Who knows, right? We'll activate our Scalecraft ability and kind of power through our frame rate issues here. And we'll make this scale with this technique. Alrighty. Now, here's your scale forge, and I really like the scale forges. You can kind of see the little, like, slot for the scale, like, how it works and stuff. Like, it's just kind of a cool thing. We'll go ahead and make that. And that leveled us up in crafting, which is super nice. And we'll head on back. We'll return to Carrion here. What is... Okay, that's just junk stuff. We'll get rid of that stuff later. Alrighty. So we made this scale. We know how to technique it now. And Carrion tells us, let me examine that scale. Rough around the edges still. You need to polish down the edges more so the scales don't grind into your own. It looks good overall though. I could make an assistant of you yet. Keep that scale for your own use. Maybe wearing it will help you learn how to refine scales better in the future. Okay, we have one last quest here. And Carrion tells us dragons control the mighty forces of the Prime. Living in the realm of Prime as we are, that means we essentially control the magic that weaves our realm together. It is a very powerful ancient magic that is virtually impossible to tame and control. Our kind is unique in the aspect of having managed to bend this force to our will. Bipeds may try to follow in our footsteps, but they can only create simple elemental spells that draw from the other realms of magic outside of our own. Perhaps they may learn someday to better master magic, but the legend of Nazdaran surely teaches us the ramifications of hurrying them along too soon. Now, where was I? Ah yes, spells. To control a spell, you need a spell rune. These runes are created by imbuing a spell shard, a specially carved piece of stone, with magical essence. Sound familiar? Indeed, it is a similar in a fashion to empowering our armor and weapons techniques. At this low tier of skill, you don't need any essence to empower the rune, but as you work with tougher materials, you will quickly realize that it doesn't stay this simple for long. Now, I want you to make your first offensive spell. There are also healing and defensive spells that may aid you, but that is for you to explore on your own. Take these formulas and create a Prime Bolt spell for me. Get on it. I need to finish my own work. Alright, so we will scribe these spells here, or these formulas, I should say. And okay, we're going to reorganize our bars here a little bit as well. So what we're going to do is head to our craftability and... Oh, okay, hold on. Sandstone spell shard. Here we go. And that uses spellcraft ability to make. So, dragon spellcraft we'll put right there. Excuse me. And then our spell shard we'll put there. And then, so we'll move our Scalecraft ability down here. And we'll put our combat stances, so Conqueror and Alerted, over there. And Sprint can stay where it is, I think. I think that'll be okay. Oh, and then we also need to, for our Prime Bolt spell, so we'll toss that on our action bell as well. Action bar as well. And now to make this, we're gonna have to gather up some stones. So we'll activate our quarrying, hit our auto run, sprint, and we'll head back out there. So the extra, so our this does add strength, and strength doesn't really help us with spell crafting, but I'm not too worried about that right now. But we do need some spell shards. So we need 3 in order to make this Prime Bolt spell, and each spell shard takes 4 sandstone bricks, and each sandstone brick is now slightly more efficient and only takes 4 sandstone slabs. So not feeling like doing the math on that at the moment. I'm just going to gather some sandstone. I'm not too concerned about the details. We'll make sure we have enough to make the spell. And we'll probably, you know what? In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to fill up our inventory with spell shards here, because we're actually going to need we're gonna make quite a few spells here. Once we're done, this is our last crafting quest. At least Carrion told us it was our last crafting quest. So I'm inclined to believe her. Maybe that's a mistake, maybe it's not, I don't know. But nonetheless, I'm still inclined to believe her to some degree. So, we're just gonna fill this up, and then we have 44 silver now, so we're doing pretty decent on money. And so once we finish this quest, we're gonna just buy a bunch of formulas from Carrion and try to and just make all the spells that we need, all of the and we're gonna make us a new scale pack. So this is our default scale pack. It gives us 1,000 bulk, 1,000 capacity, but we can make a better one. And there are that will increase our carrying capacity by a small amount, but an amount nonetheless. And then we'll have other ways to increase our carrying capacity as well, with better pets, better cargo discs, and there's even some other stuff we can do as well. We'll get into the details of that later, but for now, we're just gonna load up on sandstone and spell shards and stuff. And this should give us a fair amount of XP as well. What I'm really hoping for is that just doing all this will get us to level 10 in our crafting school, Dragon Crafter. So we can do some other crafting quests that are a little less involved, just a little bit more basic. But as you can see, since we leveled up our crafting a few times, we're gathering a little bit more sandstone than we were in the past. We're getting one sandstone slab less often, and we're getting double digits more often. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, I imagine, but it's, helps our efficiency, which is something that is definitely going to help us long term. Oh, okay, a toggle wallet. Okay. Alrighty. So we'll make up our bricks, and then we'll make up our spell shards. Oh, here's a stoneworking pedestal here. Okay. And you know what? I don't think we're gonna need 30 spell shards, so let's just make like 15 instead. And then we'll just keep the rest of our bricks in bars, and we'll go ahead and unequip our cargo disc. We'll make our we already have spellcraft engaged, so we'll make our prime bolt. Alrighty. With a crackle of magic, the rune falls into your claws, ready to imbue your talons with its innate magic. And we'll go ahead and recall and talk to Carrion. And she tells us, I see you have crafted the spell. Ars Kari Veil, Tizbirn. Now, take that spell and inscribe it into your memory so it may be flung from your claws in the future. There's little left for me to teach you, Tizbirn, but I have one idea that may aid you in the battlefield later on. I want you to technique a defensive spell. Just like scales and claws, you can technique spells as well. The kinds of techniques you can put on them are very different than the others, however. While the others may empower your own ability to defend yourself or attacks others, the spells can only be imbued with powers that takes effect once it is cast. In this case, I will be asking you to technique the boon spell True Grit with the technique Fortify. This technique will give a bonus to your armor's effectiveness for a short while after you cast it, but it is not guaranteed. Magic is a fickle mistress. I will allow you to remember how to technique and craft a spell on your own. As you may have noticed, Fortify requires you have a bronze golem fragment. Those creatures, little ones, are a little bit out of your league for now. I will offer you a deal. Fetch me an Ag Cook Gatherer's Ear, and I will trade you a bronze golem fragment in return. Deal? Yeah, that sounds good to me. So let's scribe our Prime Bolt spell. And we'll bring up our spell list here. And we'll bring this out. So we're gonna add a new hotkey bar. We'll make it number 3, and we'll just dump it over here for now. And properties, lock, and then we'll put our Prime Bolt spell here. There we go. And then she also gave us a couple of other things to scribe. Our beginner spell, True Grit, and our spell technique, Fortify. T, so this is True Grit. And then our spell, Fortify. So we already have the Dim Essence Orbs, thankfully. So all we need is the Bronze Golem Fragment, but in order to get that, we need to find these Ag Cook Gatherers. I happen to know where they are, so we'll just head out that way for now. And just reading the quest log here, the Ag Cook are present on a beach to the west of the Copper and Tin through the Advance. And there may actually be... yeah, close. The Ag Cook are west through the Advance camp near the ore. Collect 1 ear. Okay. So it does cut off the quest text in there sometimes, but it should be okay. It shouldn't be too bad. Now we are going to do some fighting here, so we're going to equip Squirt Mar. Oh, right. Okay, do we have enough inventory space for all of this? No. Alright, well... I don't feel like going back at the moment, so we'll just, yeah, dump everything back on Squirt Guard. He'll just have to live with that. Now, these guys will have quests for us. In fact, this is a guy we need to talk to for the other quests that we were doing. But I want to focus on crafting for right now. Which means we do need, and you know, we do need to go kill some things here. First, but we'll pop a sprint, and then I'm gonna zoom out. So that's the beach that we need there. So we'll just hop on down. Didn't give us the glide. Oh, still no glide. That's okay. And we have a nice little waterfall leading into the pond. That's nice. Now, these guys... this is where we this is where we're starting to have to be a little bit more careful. And these guys are hostile, as you can see by their red names. So if we get too close, they will attack. So we're going to be a little bit more careful just to make sure we don't pull a bunch of them all at once. We are a couple levels higher, and this is our Prime Bolt spell as well. And we're going to stop. And we just used our Prime Bolt just to get his attention. I don't think... okay. And we will get a different ability in the future that will make this even easier. But if we were a casting dragon, if we were a dragon that was focusing on magic as our primary source of damage, that would be one of our main attack spells. However, actually, I'm curious. I'm just making sure. Okay, this doesn't... Fire breath does not cost horde, which is good. I just wanted to make sure because I really couldn't remember. But there's also there's a named monster here, and there's pretty much a named monster for every type. There might not be for every single one, but I'm pretty sure. If it's not all of them, it's very close to all of them. But these named monsters are much more difficult to kill. As you can see, he's got a lot more health than his buddies back there. He's going to do a lot more damage to us than the other ones. I'm utilizing my like stuns and yeah, we're in Conqueror's stance, so we're doing more damage and all that kind of stuff. And really just trying to be as careful as I can, so I don't run the risk of, you know, dying embarrassingly so early in the game. Yeah, that was just a broken item component. And even honestly, from the looks of it, unless we start getting luckier with our drops here, we're probably going to level up to level 11 just from getting the materials we need for this crafting quest. Now, I did want to come over and look at this stuff because, you know, there's this big-ass skull and shit. Like, I'm wondering if there's anything over here. It doesn't look like there is, but it's a nice little, you know, camp for these they're called pygmies. As technically they're referred to as semi-intelligent, which more or less means that just trying to get in range so I can use this spell. So and now they're respawning, and yeah, I'm trying not to. We're gonna stop our action here, and we're gonna pull him away from his buddy just a little bit. So that did bug out just a little bit, as far as you know, the location that the game thought he was in versus the game that my game thought he was in. And that does happen from time to time. It's not ideal, but it does happen. But we did get our ear. So we're going to head on back and hand it into Carrion, who's going to trade us a bronze golem fragment for it, so we can make our spell technique. Oh, it's choppy. Choppy while things load. Alright, Carrion tells us, welcome back, Tizbirn. I see you have the ear. Thank you. Here's your promised fragment. I will put this ear to good use. Don't you worry. Now go fetch the rest of your components and make me that spell. Why don't you? And we will. And so when we click here, we already have everything we need. So we're just going to head in. We'll activate our spellcraft ability. And there's a nice dragon spell crafting station in that cave that we've been using to make our scales as well. So I'm curious about that. Oh yeah, the Vault Keeper does technically have a quest still. Okay. But yeah, so let's head in. Here it is. This is our Spell Forge, is what it's technically called. I'll go ahead and create our Fortified True Grit 1 spell. Ah, damn it. Oh, it doesn't let us use the stuff we already had. Okay. Well, here's the problem. We can't finish this quest now without deleting it and restarting it. Yeah. Oh, and it was the whole thing too. No. Christ. Oh, that sucks. That sucks real hard. Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, okay. We can shortcut this a little bit. Thankfully, we didn't turn all of our sandstone bricks into spell shards. So, we can just make the spell shards and... Oh, that hurts, though. That's a lot of time that we undid there by that mistake because we didn't read. We got impatient and we didn't read. Oh, I'm very upset with myself if you can't tell. Gem shaper, stone cutter, smelter. That's the spell forge. Essence channeler. Stone shaper. This should do it. Eh. Alright. Create a prime bolt spell. Oh, that's the wrong hotkey. Okay. There we go. Really, the main pain in the ass that we have to go back to our spell forge. The main pain in the ass that this is going to be is going back and killing those pygmies more. Hopefully we get a slightly better drop rate. We'll hold on to everything for now. Oh, that was painful. That was really painful. Now, we could... We could have just waited until we were strong enough to kill bronze golems, and then gone and killed bronze golems to get our, the component we needed to just do it again and all that, but I can't let that sit in my quest log for that long, I don't think. I think we're, yeah, I just don't think I'm actually capable of doing that in any way. So, we're not going to make that mistake again, I hope. We probably will. I wonder if we have enough inventory space for all this stuff now. We do, actually. Okay, so we can at least equip Squirtmar now. Oh, I don't think that's ever not going to be funny to me. The only reason I'm not laughing right now is the depression of having to redo this entire quest, essentially, just because I'm dumb and didn't read. But, you know, it's an older game. And while newer games that came out, I would say in the last 10 years or so, maybe since 2010 or so, tend to not do that kind of thing. You know, they tend to be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to, hey, we got our glide at least. But yeah, newer games tend to be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to stuff like that, where it's just like, hey, you did it though. You know, it's fine. With this, you know, just being like, nah, you fucked up, do it again. Or wait, you know, 6 parts of recording or whatever to get another one. Oh, is that? Yeah, that's Grit the Warrior. We're gonna leave him be. I don't have any strong desire to kill him again. He's not really gonna give us anything too special, so we'll just stick with these easier to kill scouts. And I'm hoping, really more than anything, I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing things at least in ways that like make enough sense to where it's like I can see why I'd pronounce it like that. It's wrong, but I can at least see why you'd do it, you know. Okay, we got a level. So we got some training points we can spend. More tooth and claw, more dexterity. Pop that in, and we got the protection ability. So let's see what this does. Sets the character's style to protection. 200% base armor, 200% base ethereal armor, 450% base threat mod, does 25% of normal damage, cannot be dispelled. Okay, so what this does is it basically turns us into a tank. Now, this is meant for when you're grouping with other people, just like coordinated breath, right? And so it's not really going to benefit us to use it now. It'll tank our damage, and basically the idea of it is you use this when you group with other people, so things primarily attack you instead of other things, but then you take way less damage, and yeah. It's good, it's just, I guess I haven't really discussed this before, but the idea behind this Let's Play is to, again, you know, tell dumb stories about, like, you know, things that I think are funny that, you know, or whatever, but, like, also, from a gameplay perspective, the idea here is to, be entirely self-sufficient in this game, even to the point of, like, leveling to max level, becoming an adult dragon, an ancient dragon, and doing those epic quest lines and stuff, and just being entirely self-sufficient, where we're not relying and crafting all of our own gear, and all that kind of stuff. And we might, on occasion, group with other people for certain things, like far in the future. Like, there is some group content at max level. It's nothing like raids or anything like that in World of Warcraft, for example, but there is still some, like, epic bosses and stuff that wander around and attack towns and stuff, you know, which, and then, you know, people, you may have even seen it in a loading screen tip so far in this series, but when those do crop up, you know, the very, very small but still here and dedicated community will show up to kill it, and we might participate in some of that. It's gonna not look great because of the whole, you know, my computer sucks, especially when I'm trying to record and things of that nature, but alright, we got the ear. I'll recall. But that's still going to be very, very, very far into the future. We're not going to be capable of contributing to those types of encounters anytime soon. And doing once a week uploads of this, it's probably going to be multiple years. Alright. So, we're back where we were when we fucked up. So, we need to craft 4 dim essence orbs and 3 spell shards. So we can make our spell shards, but we do need to go grab the dim essence orbs real quick. And we don't even have any of those on our person anyways, so that's fine. Man, I still just can't believe how badly I fucked that up. I'm so annoyed. And if you've watched any of my other series, you know, any of my other videos, like, I know Horizon Zero Dawn, not this, this type of thing didn't really happen, but, like, there were instances where I know I'm just like, I know I was just like, oh, I fucked that up, I'm such an idiot, whatever, right? Like, I think I'm trying to think. I think I sold stuff that I needed or something like that, or I just like was. Oh, I know one of them was. It wasn't in the last part, but it was in the Frozen Wilds DLC, and this will be spoilers for the Frozen Wilds DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn. If you haven't seen it, or played it, I highly recommend you do so. There's at the end of the like cauldron and like main quest thing of that, there's a Fireclaw enemy. Oops. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm pretty sure that's still 4. I mean, it's 6. Oh, yeah, because our... Yeah. Okay. There was a Fireclaw thing that we had to kill, and I didn't realize until someone left a comment. Thank you so much to whoever did that and left that comment. That there was like ice canisters floating around that you could shoot down and freeze the Fireclaw with that. And boy, I wish I had known that before I spent an hour and a half doing that fight. Now, let me see here. Okay. We'll come back to that later. We'll sort that out another time. For now, we're gonna make our 3 sandstone spell shards. Oh, chugging. There we go. Okay. So, we need our spellcraft ability. There we go. And a stoneworking pedestal, which is this guy in the middle. It's our Helion Stone Shaper. It's the equivalent. It's the dragon equivalent. Okay, now we can craft the True Grit spell technique with Fortify. Oh, God. And now we can return to Carrion. Yeah. Oh. Man, my computer really doesn't like that specific spot in town. Okay. Carrion tells us, that was fast for such a complicated task, young one. Let me see your rune. No, I'm not going to take it from you. I have far superior spells of my own. This is excellently cut and inscribed, Tizbirn. I am impressed. Keep it. You will need it later on. I think you have learned all you need to be able to assist me in arming the local militia. Perhaps this isn't a waste of time after all. Now, of course, if I want you arming a militia, I need you to be able to defend yourself too. Thought you were done, weren't you? This is all preparation, and now I have an exam to give you. Study hard, gifted. Okay, the final test. I want you to make a regular malachite-tipped dragon claw. Simple enough, isn't it? A claw is a powerful aid. On its own, it doesn't help you rend your foes any better than your regular claws already do. It simply protects your claws and provides a vessel for you to upgrade them with magic without imbuing your scales directly. That being said, I ask you to get on with making that claw now. Malachite can be found in the mine near the sandstone. Simply run past the pond where the sandstone is and you should see the mine from there. Of course, if you can't remember this, you can also go talk to Pratt for a reminder. Alrighty, so it's not going to let us use... Okay, well, first off, we're going to scribe our True Grit spell. Come on, damn it. There we go. And we're going to scribe this formula that she just gave us. And she wants us to make a malachite-tipped dragon claw. So we'll pop that on our action bar here. Alrighty, and this other True Grit spell we don't need. It's only a few. It's only 9 horde. It's not really worth. Okay, let's see what you got. Okay, Jeremiah tells you, it is so frightening what is happening here on New Christmas, but business is business and trophies are still needed. So I, Jeremiah Trueheart, will do my best to supply you with great rewards in exchange for certain trophies. Greetings, gifted one. My name is Jeremiah Trueheart. May I ask you how you are called? Pleased to meet you, Tizbirn. Welcome to the town of New Christmas. Well, what is left of it? You've come at a very fortuitous time for our town, you see. Our town was attacked recently, and the attackers, a horde of undead, remain at our hastily erected gates. I, myself, am a trophy hunter by trade, and I remain so even now, but my concerns for our town are great. What's a trophy hunter? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, as you move from city to city in your adventures, you will find there's one in each major city who's willing to pay for certain trophies from different creatures of the world. There's a whole network of trophy hunters, actually, and we will pay you and give you a bit of extra experience in exchange for gathering specific items. If you are interested in the types of trophies I have to offer, speak to me again, and I will provide you with a list of what I am interested in. In the meantime, I do have a favor to ask of you. It is a simple task, but one that would mean a great deal to me if you were to do it. All I would need you to do is take a letter of acknowledgement from myself to the steward of the island, Pratt McGrubbin. That's him, standing right over there by the shrine. So, if you are willing to aid me. Why, yes, of course. It is my pleasure to aid you in your newfound life. That is why I'm here, handing out my fortune for all time, proving to Pratt over there that old Jeremiah is indeed making good on his pledge. Yes, pledge to the council. What was that? No, this is not a punishment, and I dare say I'm no criminal. I'm a man of my word, though, so there you are, and here I am. That's all you need to know about that, indeed. You'll help out old Jeremiah, now won't you? You'll be helping yourself in the process, believe me. I am most obliged, Tizbirn, thank you. Here's the letter. Simply take it to Pratt, and he will take it from you. As compensation for delivering the letter, Pratt will give you a small bounty that you should find helpful in getting started. Once that simple task is complete, you may wish to spend a few minutes talking to Pratt about what happened in the town of New Christmas and the island as a whole. Now, it is time for you to be on your way. Safe travels in your new life, Tizbirn. Okay. So I think we have to actually do this quest and turn this in before we can actually... Because I do actually have some trophies from those pygmies that I'm hoping he'll let me trade to him. There's Pratt. Well now, it seems Jeremiah has found yet another gifted willing to champion his cause, whether they fully understand it or not from the expression on your face. I'm not at liberty to explain the situation, Tizbirn, as it is between Jeremiah Trueheart and the Council. I will simply say that a deal is a deal and that I obey the will of the Imperial Council. Accordingly, I accept this letter from you and thank you for delivering it. By command of the Imperial Council, I offer you, Tizbirn, this stipend of 1 silver coin on behalf of Jeremiah Trueheart, and the hope that you will find it useful as you start out in your new life in Istaria. Good luck, Tizbirn, and may Istaria's blessing bring you strength and victory. Excellent. He did give us 1 silver coin, which I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Not by any means. I do want to see. Okay, yeah, he won't take that stuff anymore, unfortunately. Alrighty, so let's head into the vault. And again, we're gonna keep all of these skills that we made for like our tutorial stuff, right? They're not going to be particularly useful long term. This we can add to our horde. Oops. There we go. We can just deconstruct that. So deconstructing items gives you a tiny little bit of resources back for doing it. It's nothing spectacular, but... you know, it's a little bit. And then we can pawn a couple of things. So we can pawn that. Everything else is just resources and stuff that we do want to need. So I think we might be able to trade. Let me find you. It says he has a quest. He clearly doesn't. But maybe he'll just buy our trophies at a better rate. No, okay, he won't. Alright, well, we can add him to our horde, but that's not very much. Let's see what Jeff will give us for him, the pawnbroker here. 25 copper, I'll take the horde for that. Yeah. There we go. It's not much, but it's preferable. Okay. So now we need to gather up 24 bronze bars. A little annoying, seeing as we already have 75, but we'll use the bronze bars that we have now when we're gonna grind out our crafting skill here. So 24 bronze bars, and it takes 4 copper and 10 each. Math is hard, so I'm not even gonna try. If you figured it out immediately, we'll equip. There we go. Let me know that you're better at math than me. That, you know, that's the internet. People do that thing. Do that. It's dumb that people do that, but that's fine. I know I can't stop it, so feel free to, yeah. That's fine. We'll move on. So that's all. We're not gonna completely fill up our inventory with the bronze here. We're just gonna get what we need, craft it, get rid of our excess copper and tin. Come on, destroy. Jesus, I'm fixing that before I record the next part because I just can't live with it like that. I just can't. Alright, so next we need some malachite. And the gem mine, we've actually walked past it several times, and we didn't really pay too much attention to it. Is, you know, we just didn't need it in the moment, but we will need gems in the future. Obviously for our claws, but we'll also need gems for making our scale pack and things of that nature. There's definitely going to be more stuff we're going to need them for, but we'll be using metal and stone more than anything else. But, you know, we are still using our Skullcar claw, which, okay, malachite. We'll just do this normal malachite outcropping. We don't need the rich ones. And we just need enough. We only need to make 12 of these. That's garnet. This is malachite. Now, this is our easy way of knowing how many resources we have. Without having to do the math in our head or busting out the calculator or anything like that. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta, you know, when you're playing a game and you just, you know, you're tired from working all week. It was like fucking 90 degrees all the time, and Things just aren't going good because we're in the middle of, this is going to date this probably a little bit, but we're in the middle of a major labor shortage, and it's just miserable. Absolutely miserable. Alright, craft 1 malachite tip dragon claw. Could do. So we'll recall. Ugh. And, we'll head back to the scale forge. So the scale forge doesn't really have a slot for the claws like it does for the actual scales. Which is fine. It's really, you know. Oh, we can delete our excess uncut malachite as well. Oh, I'm fixing that so soon. Yeah. It has to get fixed. But I still like using, and we could use the biped anvil if we wanted to, but all this dragon, I mean, it's dragon stuff, man. We're dragon. We're playing as a dragon. It's awesome. Why wouldn't we? Now, we could put dragon breath on this, I think. Yeah. I'm not going to, because it's not really worth it at this level, I don't think. Claws finished. Return to carrion. Okay. I really don't think it's worth it. To really add techniques to tier 1 stuff. It doesn't give much of a boost, and it's probably not worth the time and effort for the most part. That being said, we will be using techniques and stuff, probably starting with tier 2 stuff, like level 20 and up stuff, so we'll go from there. Carrion tells us, welcome back, hold on to that claw. I know what you were thinking. Wow, Carrion, that was a very easy task for such a skilled hatchling such as I. What is the twist? There is a twist, young one, but not much of one. You see, not all techniques are applied on an item before you create it. Some techniques are special and may be applied after the item is already put together. Impressive, is it not? It takes a very skilled crafter to make these techniques, and some may not be crafted at all and are simply shards of unique magic you may be handed in return for doing tasks for others in the future. I want you to test this magic for yourself first before you're exposed to it out in the world. Take this technique and combine it with your claw. Drag and drop the technique onto your claw. Okay. Done. And then we can talk to her again. Good, good. Now you see how the magic on the item is taking a liking to you. This is normal. Once you wear this claw, it will be bound to your being, your very soul. You cannot give it away, and others cannot give it to you. You can destroy it, but what good is there in that? Be wary what you wear if you plan to give it away. That is now truly all I can teach you, little one. If you wish to help me with my chores, then please stick around. If not, well, I mean with this with all politeness, but please scram. Okay, so we'll show our details here. So this claw, the techniques that we added to this claw, gives us an extra 2 damage and 10 attack skill or chance to hit. Not the end-all be-all of you know, techniques and stuff, and again, it is tier 1 and that, but it'll be useful at some point in the future. Now, real quick, I'm going to head back to my vault, and I'm going to drop off our Skullcar Dragon Claw, because I do want to keep it, just for, you know, nostalgia reasons and things, and I just want to make sure I don't screw up, and boy, I really can't see where I'm going when I do that. There we go. Alrighty. So we'll throw this in here. Yeah, that'll work. And everything else we can just kind of keep on us, and that's fine. So, for now, however, I think we've done quite enough. I apologize for screwing up in the way that I did. That, you know, it, basically what it meant was we had less time to do other stuff, because we had to do the same thing twice, and I'm not editing it out. I had to suffer through that, and now you do too. But I do apologize. It's, it's not the best thing in the world. But in any case, we're gonna hang out here for a bit, take a nap, and as a matter of fact, hold on here. Oops. Let me see here. Yeah. Oh, sleepy. So, as always, I will say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.